Bolt your windows. Lock your doors. Check your closets. Look under your bed. And then prepare yourself. For it's another episode of Dark Night of the Podcast.
Reunited and it feels so good. Hey, who knew I could sing, huh? Hello, Roger.
Hello, Troy. Hello, Troy. And hello, Chris Jehnert.
And hello, Roger, and hello, Troy.
Fancy seeing you here, or hearing you here, at the Dark Night of the Podcast.
I jumped out of the shadows and into your ears.
Well, we are excited to have you. You are the first guest we've had on the podcast since we started it. We're on episode 22.
I feel so legit.
And look at you.
My lucky number.
There you go. And you know what? There is a reason why we chose you, okay? A, you're brilliant, multi-talented, sing, dance, act, everything. This kid does everything. B, we've all worked together before.
Yes, we have.
And it's been way too long.
Too long.
Too long.
And if you don't know, Chris Jehnert, who is our guest, he was in my last film, Teacher Shortage, along with Roger.
Yes.
They were actors, and I was just sat on the sideline and did nothing. But no, just kidding.
You inspired Troy.
Yeah. But so yeah, welcome, Chris.
Thank you for having me. I'm stoked.
Yeah. So we know each other pretty well. And I'm sure everyone else that's listening knows exactly who you are. But just in case some straggler comes along that happens upon this podcast and it's like, who the fuck are these people? Why don't you introduce yourself to the listeners?
My name is Chris Jehnert, not to be confused with Chris Jenner, of course. I am a...
Or is it?
You are just hearing audio, so I can't confirm or deny my actual identity. But I am a singer, actor, dancer. I am a pop musician, dark alternative pop. I also tour the world with a boy band concert, and I'm a film and TV actor. And I had the pleasure of being in your film and making out with Roger.
The pleasure indeed.
The pleasure is all mine.
And if you haven't seen Teacher Shortage and that doesn't make you want to pop it in right now, I don't know what will.
Sorry for the spoiler.
I mean, but we do kiss multiple times. And if you enjoy Teacher Shortage, Chris is in several other films, but another one I want to mention, another queer-centric slasher, Killer Unicorn.
Thank you.
And you know, this being a queer-based podcast, I wanted to acknowledge that, point that out. And I also wanted to acknowledge that in the last year you also dropped, was it your debut single?
It was my debut single, yeah.
Tell me
and it went to
about
number one on the LGBTQ UK chart for 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Listen to this. This is a big deal, guys. Can we maybe
Listen
hear
to
a
this,
sample?
literally.
Yeah, literally, we're going to listen to this.
Here's a little sample of this number one single. How many people can say they have a number one single?
And how many people can say they have a number one single performer on their podcast?
Here we go. Listen, guys, and you'll know why it's number one.
My lips intoxicate, so let's get high a little, try a little, baby, now you're fucked up on me. Welcome to the hollow. I knew that you would follow to my underground halo. Welcome to the hollow, hollow. Welcome to the hollow. I knew that you would follow to my underground halo. Welcome to the
Alrighty, what'd you think of that?
Welcome to the motherfucking hollow, everybody.
I wrote it. I don't know.
The
You
talent.
wrote it. Did you really write it? Oh, wow. See, look at how...
Oh, yeah, I write my own music, yeah.
What doesn't she do? She sings, she dances,
I wrote a song for Troy.
Oh, how romantic.
It's it's not. If you hear it, it's not romantic at all. It's actually I can't talk about it, I don't think. I don't want to ruin anything.
Wow. My eyes and ears are being
No,
open on
here's
this
the-
episode of Darkness
In a
of the Podcast.
nutshell, Troy was talking to me about a movie idea that he's got, and I was inspired to write a song that I would like to try to have used in the movie. If it gets made, if it ever becomes a thing. I'm going to make this song regardless, but if the film happens, I would pitch it.
Oh, I'm sure the film is going to happen. A film is going to happen very soon. I'm very excited.
I'm actually
about
in
that.
your basement because I wanted to be in it, and I thought that sneaking into your house was the way to get cast.
You are very tiny, so I'm sure it's very easy for you to like move through tight crevices.
Thank you. I've been
hide among
dieting. I'm doing a
shadows.
sex scene this week.
God, he's so fit. I'm so jealous.
I rollerblade 4 hours a day. That's it.
I watch Teacher Shortage, and the scenes we're kissing, I look like I'm eating you.
Oh.
I feel like I look like I'm just like full on consuming you. So good for you. And you're like the painting of Dorian Gray. You're like
This
how
big
old are
hunk,
you?
and I'm an hors d'oeuvre. That's all.
Like, you look like you're 16, and you're never gonna age. And
I
I'm
am
envious of
playing.
that.
My Lifetime movie comes out May 22nd. I'm playing a 17-year-old. 16? 17.
Oh my god! Not even legal.
I had a callback yesterday for a 15. It's impossible.
Jesus Christ! It's Peter Pan syndrome. And you're
Yeah.
going to be thankful you have it. But then when you're like 80 and they want you to play old people, then what are you going to do?
When I'm 40, I plan on being a college student.
You're gonna ride that horse till it dies, and I'm all for it.
There is nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. You're doing you at this point, and that's all that
Absolutely.
matters, Chris.
Thank you.
And you're doing all kinds of fun stuff. You were just in Texas this past weekend.
Yes,
weren't
and I'll
you?
be there next weekend too.
Oh,
Yeah.
look
I'm
at
actually
that.
there like next weekend, 2 weeks from then, and also September and November.
Is it weird for you being a performer who travels? Like you had this huge time frame of obviously you had like a year of not being able to do anything. And like are things like all of a sudden are they picking back up? Does it feel like you're right back to where it was, or how does that differ for you?
Can I tell you, it almost feels like more. Okay, so I got lucky, like I don't want to stray too far from anything, giving my life story, but I got very lucky that during the pandemic, for those who know or don't know, I didn't spend a lot of time with my family growing up. So I got to spend a lot of time with my family for like 6 months, and it's the most time I've ever spent with my parents. So I got to like get to know them as adults during that, and then I booked the Lifetime film during it. So I left, and I kind of like within the last 2 months, things have gone from 0 to 100. I'm working on 5 films, finishing the EP. We have tour dates almost every weekend until 2022.
Yes.
And I have been, fingers crossed, I keep getting called in for some big things that I'm not obviously allowed to talk about, but things that if I book, I'm like, holy moly, this is everything I've ever wanted. But once I get it, I want
that's
more.
amazing.
But
That's amazing. You're super talented.
but it does feel like it really did. I feel like I just jumped right back
That's awesome
in.
and deserving.
In a good
Super
way.
deserving. You should be working. Yeah,
Thank
for sure.
you.
And tell us again really quick because I know we're going to segue here into the film in a second, but I do want to point out you mentioned you're involved in a Lifetime movie. Can you repeat the name
Yes.
for the listeners? And if you know anything about the release or the dates or anything, is there anything you can share with that?
Sure. The Lifetime movie. It's the third part of a trilogy film series on Lifetime called Stalker's Prey. It is called A Predator's Return. It's Stalker's Prey 3. It comes out May 22nd at 8 p.m.
Yes.
on, I believe, Lifetime Television Network, I think. Because I know they have a movie network too, but I think it's television. And if you don't have Lifetime, it'll be on Amazon.
Yes, that's amazing. That's amazing.
I'm pretty stoked about it.
Yeah, as you should be. That's excellent.
Although I don't, the best of bragging about my best world. I will actually be performing in Indiana during the premiere of it, so I won't actually get to watch when it premieres, but I'll watch it the next day.
Well, if it's going to be able to be streamed, I'm taking it you'll be able to stream it. There's almost something better about knowing that you're something streamable that's not like a one time and you miss it. Like, it's at people's fingertips whenever they want to watch it. That's a pretty good feeling.
Yeah, my mom finally thinks I've made it too. She's like, "Oh, you're gonna be on Lifetime now. You're a star."
Yeah, well, I think any mother, if they had a child on Lifetime, that automatically is important to them.
She's like, "Hopefully, it's not too risque."
It's the Women's Network.
Yeah.
Wow, that's exciting, and we get to say we got to work with you at the very beginning.
You know what you should do is do an episode about it.
Oh,
But don't have me in case you don't like it.
We'll get your arch nemesis. I don't know who that is, but we'll find it. Just to be like, I'm that actor, Chris Jehnert. Or should I say Chris Jenner?
My mom. That's who you could get.
Oh,
She'd be like,
critical.
Queen Latifah wasn't in it. I didn't like this movie.
Understandable. I wouldn't like it either without Queen Latifah.
That's what she always says when I do things.
Sadly, you know what movie Queen Latifah is not in? But I still enjoy it nonetheless. It's Sleepaway Camp.
Is it Sleepaway Camp?
Sleepaway Camp.
I think we
A seamless
Queen Latifah,
segue.
God, she would have made this.
Oh my God. If like that would have been such a contrast to every other aspect of this movie.
I think she should have played the girl at the beginning that was like on the jet ski.
Delores. She's my favorite character.
The one who's just
I didn't even know she had a name. Is that a real name or did you make it
That's
up?
her name. And for some reason, when her friend yells to her, she yells, "Hang on, Delore," and she just like as if Delore is a nickname to Delores. And she's the picture of the trailer.
Oh, really? Oh, Delores.
Yeah, Delores.
I didn't know that Delores lingered in our minds and in our hearts so prominently.
She will be making quite an amount of appearances from my mouth tonight.
Absolutely. A large majority of this podcast will be based solely on Delores.
Bless her heart for giving it her all in her 3 minutes of screen time.
She truly does open the movie.
So yes, that was a beautiful segue to talk about Sleepaway Camp. Queen Latifah as Delores.
In the remake, in the 2021 remake of Sleepaway Camp.
Yes. I get to see her on a pair of water skis.
I already bought tickets.
Oh, man. Okay, so folks, as always, we are going to spoil the shit out of this movie. And if you haven't seen this movie by now, then that's your own fucking fault because, I mean, who has not seen Sleepaway Camp?
What, it came out in '83, right? So if you haven't seen it, you've had time.
And it's one of the most iconic slasher films from the 80s, I think.
Yeah.
So we're talking about it. And, you know, I don't know. It's an interesting film. And I always said I didn't want to cover it, but now I'm like, let's cover it because we got Chris Jehnert here to do it. And one of the reasons why I didn't want to cover it is because A, it's been done to death. I mean, if there's a queer podcast out there, a horror podcast, they've covered it. And B, the whole idea of it being problematic in a sense because of the ending, which we will get to. Because I know that's a kind of a sensitive subject among many people. And in fact, when I went to watch it yesterday, I did not put I own the DVD set, the Blu-ray set, but I actually, just because it was easier, I went to Shudder and put it on. And in Shudder's description, they even say the ending is problematic in their description. And I'm like, are you serious? So we'll talk about that. But let's talk about this wonderful gem of a film, which honestly is a great film. I think it is.
Oh yeah, I think there's a reason that it has maintained, and if anything, it's developed more of a following and a fan base over the course of time. It's one of those movies I didn't hear about. I always heard about, like, you know, as a kid, I always heard about the Freddys and the Jasons and the Michael Myers and everything. And Sleepaway Camp kind of crept in. And the real diehard slasher fans, those are the ones who kind of kept it alive and it persevered all this time. But now I feel like I see now as an adult, amongst like the real, true fans of the genre, there is this utmost respect for this movie, and what it managed to do and where it manages to succeed and some of the things it pulls off, especially in the makeup and gore and violence department. Most movies can't hold a candle to this one, I think.
I will say, in rewatching it, I had been a little bit since I've seen it, to be honest. And like when I rewatched it, I was like, wow, there really is nothing like this film. It is really the only film of its kind.
It really is. And people like to dismiss it, I think, as a Friday the 13th ripoff.
I don't see it at all.
Don't see that at all. I think tonally they're completely different films. I would even say I think the violence and the deaths in this film are probably some of the nastiest out of the 80s.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
mean, that's saying a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think with that comparison, even in the character structure and the whole approach to what you think of a final girl to be, this movie, obviously there's the character of Angela. As we're going to explore this movie, the one thing that I think really the most prominent character overall, for understandable reasons, is Angela, but she in so many ways does not check a lot of the boxes of what one would describe as a final girl. But the rest of the character structure beneath her is very ensemble. There isn't really a defined hierarchy of these are the leads and these are the supporting players and blah, blah, blah. It's like a big diverse, well, not diverse in the sense they're all very white people, but personality wise, it's a this big cast of characters. You kind of bop all over the place and you follow all these storylines, and that alone makes it feel very unique, because there isn't one character who's really the driving force other than Angela's very unique story with very limited dialogue.
And one other thing I like about this film, and then we'll get to it, is the fact that the kids in this film, they look like kids. Okay, this isn't a case of like Friday the 13th, The Burning, Madman, where they're casting 40-year-olds to play teenagers.
How dare you?
Yes. Yeah.
Stop shaming me.
Right. But you know what I mean. Well, you can pass as a teenager, obviously.
You know what's funny is when we get into it too, I have something odd to ask about this specific thing.
But like the character of Paul and Ricky are like prepubescent.
Yeah.
I mean, really, honestly. I mean, so they did a good job at actually making this look like a summer camp for kids. I mean, there are the random like 50-year-old looking dudes that are out in their little short shorts playing baseball. But for the most part, the main characters look like they're of age. And I think that makes the film a little bit more disturbing because these kids look like kids.
Mm-hmm.
But
well,
go ahead.
I was going to say, not just because of the the violence and everything, but also there's a very heavy sexual current that carries through this movie. And that also is hard to watch at times because you're watching, a lot of times you watch movies where you're following high schoolers in peril who are also like, their hormones are awakening and they're finding out who they really are and they're fucking everybody. And a lot of times they're played by, 30-year-olds. And it makes it easier, maybe more palatable to watch. But now watching it played by young teens, it makes me feel like it makes my skin kind of crawl.
There's also a bit of heavy topic matter.
There is
within that, not just between the kids of the camp, but within with the counselors and stuff too, and the workers. I was like, there were some things I forgot where I was watching, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
But anyways, it's we're gonna get into. Oh God, there's so much to get into. We might as well just start. So the film opens with what I think is a very very effective score, which is played over the camera scanning the now deserted campground. And as it hits each of these cabins, you kind of hear pieces of dialogue that happen throughout the movie over these now deserted cabins. So I guess the beginning of the film is supposed to be like after all this has already happened, and now this camp is closed down because you can kind of see like some of the doors on the cabins are like boarded shut now. But I think that was a really cool way to open the film with like some of the if you're paying attention, you could hear like dialogue that was said at these specific locations, and you get all the credits with poor Jonathan Tierson's name misspelled in the credits of this film.
Really?
Yeah. It's spelled O-N, I think, in the film credits, and his real name is spelled with an E-N.
Do you know how many times in movie credits my last name has been spelled wrong?
They don't fix that? Your last name's Connors.
It's C-O-N and E-R-S. It always gets spelled O-R-S. And I've just given up. At this point, I've just given up and accepted it.
And then we get the opening scene, which is actually a flashback scene. And it is a father with his two children. There's a boat. And Delores. We're getting to Delores. Why don't you take it, Chris? Because this is your favorite character.
Well, then there's a nice switch over to my girl, Delores, on her jet skis, and her slutty friend, whatever her name is, talking to this lifeguard driving the boat. And she hates her life. She is screaming, I want to get off, stop, please, God. And her friend's like, shut up back there, let me drive the boat. And he's like, I'm going to get fired if I drive the boat. And she's like, please, I like do whatever you want. And then he lets her drive the boat, and Delores is freaking out. She's giving me a performance of a lifetime, I gotta be honest.
I think it's pretty easy to do because she's on the jet ski at a high speed, just screaming.
Yeah, I just imagine that actress, like, she's like, I actually can't do this. And they're like, go ahead.
They're like,
and
oh,
then
yes, you
she's
can.
like, and they're like, say these lines.
Faster,
And she's
faster,
like,
get that boat going.
And that's actually what they put in the movie.
They're like, this is cinematic gold. Roll on it.
The boat, though, they're not paying attention. And just as the father...
You know what's funny is they are not paying attention because Delores is like screaming. She's like, move the boat, and they're like, what is she saying? And
It's
they're
all
both
Dolores.
looking
This
at
whole
her.
movie would not have happened if it wasn't for fucking Dolores.
Exactly, and her
God.
horror of a friend.
Fucking Judy
I
would
love
still
her.
be alive.
Oh, well, why'd you bring that up?
Anyway, so the right is the John is his name, right? John the father, who actually is kind of a good-looking dad. He was a daddy there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
They were playing around. They fell in the water.
His lover shows up, and it comes to the show, and it's like, John, we got to go to the meeting. And I think it's cute. This was 1983, so you.
But here's the thing: at the time, we're not supposed to think that's his
No,
lover, right?
well,
because is
I-
that their uncle?
Was it their uncle? I don't know.
I had always thought that was Aunt Martha's husband,
Oh,
who left
a whole
after.
new layer of this.
I thought they were there visiting them.
Oh, well, I could see if you're married to Aunt Martha that you're wanting some dick on the side.
Yeah.
So I could see that. Yeah, okay, I'll go with that. I will go.
I
with
might
that.
be lying. That's
I
a
don't
plot
know.
point
It
I
sounds
made
that's a
up.
perfect plot point. That makes it more scandalous. I love it. Aunt Martha's husband's getting some dick on the side. I fucking love it. Okay.
Yeah, I thought maybe that he was like the dad was Martha's brother, and maybe he was sleeping with her husband.
Aunt Martha is basically a gay man. So that,
Oh,
that makes sense
100%.
why he would be married to her either way.
Like, there's no better
No,
beard
dude,
than that.
I literally thought it was the first time I watched this movie. I thought Aunt Martha was a drag queen, but we'll get to
Me
Aunt Martha
too.
because we're coming up on this moment that is pretty
Yeah.
important.
I'm jumping
It's
ahead.
important to the overall impact of the story because what happens here sets off a major chain of events. There's this huge boat accident. Delores is flung from the skis.
And she gives a monologue of screaming like, help those people, help those people, please.
And it keeps cutting, like it cuts to like the action, and then it cuts back to Delores. Like they really milked her for every
Yeah.
word out of her mouth. Like
Honestly, I don't know why they didn't make her character bigger, because she gave the performance of a lifetime.
Oh my
And
God, we
unfortunately-
hit a boat.
She hasn't really worked much since. They also flew over that boat.
they did. It was actually quite an impressive sequence.
But essentially, it's alluded to that the family was swimming and the family was struck by this boat.
And they're dead. Well, and one of the
And Delores lets us know it.
yes, and the father floats by dead, or the uncle, whatever you want, whoever he is, floats by dead, and then one of the little kids' life jackets pops up, all mangled and bloody, as we see the back of one of the little kids trying to struggle to stay afloat. It's actually
Yeah, and the
quite
way
sad.
the way they film this whole sequence is very smart because they keep it's one of the kids is obviously dead, but it's very hard to follow what happens and who's injured and who's not, and intentionally so. This is shot in a very intentional way, but I have to say this opening, in the sense of like every slasher, every movie with a killer, every movie with a villain, they have a motivation, and in the sense of famous slashers, I think following the motivations of killers and why they do what they do, this is one of my favorite opening sequences that really kind of it starts knocking down the dominoes and causing everything to fall in place. I love this opening because this is something that I feel could very much just happen.
I'm sure it has happened. Well,
Not exactly as it plays out, but like it just seems like a very realistic accident, and it's very well executed. And the kids are horribly obnoxious, which makes them somewhat believable. And it's a very strong start to the film, I think.
well, then we get 8 years later, and we get introduced to Ricky and Angela, and fucking Aunt Martha.
Aunt Martha.
What a performance!
Is it a I don't know what it is. I don't know if I would call it a performance.
It is
She is.
art.
I don't know if she knew that she was, what type of movie she was in, or
I think about that all the time. Like, was this crafted? And she's a genius.
I feel like they just gave it to. They picked this actress and they're like, you know what? Take this part and run with it. And she's like, oh, I'm sprinting. And she. I feel like she came in and just did the most she possibly could do. And my God, it's something that I look at and I say, there have to be drag queens out there that have based a whole look.
Oh my God.
Off of this woman. Oh.
And probably dialogue. I'm sure there's dialogue.
Oh, because her
put into those
dialogue
songs.
in this scene is just, and the way she's very sing-songy in her line delivery.
If somebody doesn't do a drag performance to tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree, but makes it about tying a ribbon around her finger, that's it.
And she has like these things she does, like these little movements she does with her hands, and she's very flowy, and it's a very gay performance. There's, somebody involved with the production team of this movie had to be a homosexual based off several things. First, Aunt Martha. Second, the whole gay subplot that'll be brought about, obviously. There's a few subplots. And third, the wardrobe choices. I have never seen a movie in which the men have such tight short shorts on, and the women look like such drag queens. It's a fact. It's a fact.
Well, yeah, Aunt Martha Ricky and Angela are leaving for camp. Aunt Martha is going over the fact that she gave them treats, and she tied this.
She ties a ribbon around her finger so she doesn't forget.
So she wouldn't forget. She wouldn't forget, and she didn't either.
She didn't.
And she remembers their physicals.
Which
you can't go to camp
them.
without your physicals. Yes. Well, there's another thing that's revealed about this character. She's a doctor. What the fuck kind of doctor is this, is what I want to know. If I walked into a doctor's office and this lady greeted me, I'm like, okay, I will just
I would turn and cough right there. I'm sold.
She is a sight to behold. Oh.
She has almost like a Disney villain-esque kind of energy.
And that's
her.
really, you make a good point, because she technically, looking at the scope of the film, she is the villain of the film. Let's be honest. She's
Absolutely.
the villain of the film. So I think you just hit the nail on the head. Maybe she's really brilliant because she is playing this character like it is like a Disney-esque villain or a fairy tale type villain. And she actually is the villain of the film.
I've never seen such an eccentric performance it's also slightly subtly eccentric.
Well, I want to know
what
the director was thinking when he was watching her. In his mind, he was like, "Yes, this is it. This is the
line.
Is it. Either that or we have to get off of set now. That was it.
Now get her a beret.
Oh, she's wearing the hell out of that beret.
Oh my God.
God, yeah, she
Can I
looks
also
very
point out,
sensible.
she has the most beautiful eyes. I couldn't stop staring
Stunning.
at them.
Yeah, it's a performance that is just unlike any you will ever see. I just leave it at that. And bless her heart, it is one of the most memorable things about the film, minus the ending, I think, is Aunt Martha.
I almost would compare it to an aging gay man giving his swan song theater performance in a local community theater production. It's just he knows he's got to give the best performance he can. The most memorable performance he can, and he's going to take every second in the spotlight, and he's going to bask in it. But God, I love it. She's one of the best parts of the movie.
Character.
Well, and Ricky's kind of a little shit, which we find out, and Angela's pretty much a basket case.
Yeah, and she just doesn't talk at all.
She does not talk at all. She just stares. It's a very uncomfortable stare, like these big bug eyes. And but we'll get to that because it's Felissa Rose, for crying out loud. We gotta love Felissa Rose, and she is amazing. She will be at the Houston Horror Film Festival next month. Woohoo!
God love her.
Yeah,
That's
she
awesome.
was at she was at our first pop-up market. I hate to get off track here, but she's an absolute doll.
I'll pay her to stare at me.
Yeah, she's someone who's she's stuck with the film. She's very much stuck with the genre, and I think fans appreciate that, and that's only helped this film, I think, maintain legacy.
I do too, because she's very proud of this film, and she loves her fan. She loves the fans. She loves the people that love this film, and because think about it, this film is 40 years old almost, and she has been having to do that whole final face that she makes for 40 years in pictures.
Now that you say 40 years, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, she loves it.
She looks amazing.
I was gonna say I wouldn't even guess that she's 40, but she has to be.
Yeah.
She was young when I think she was 12 or 13, actually.
I actually looked up the ages.
And it
The cast was
shows.
really young. They were actually their age. A lot of them. Not all of them.
But anyways, the bus arrives at the camp after we get done with Aunt Martha. The bus pulls up and all the kids come running off the bus and they're all excited.
And can I tell you, they are running everywhere. They are not running to a location. They are running in full
I think the
circles.
director just said, get off the bus and run.
And run. The extras, get off, run around.
We're gonna, but this is...
I'll tell you guys, and I don't know if this is going to be a bad thing for us. I am the king of watching extras during
Oh, God,
scenes.
thank you.
So I did notice a few beautiful, beautiful moments that the extras are giving us. And this is one of them. Like, you just see random extras, like, of all ages, just running in circles.
Well, the way they shot this, though, I mean, this whole sequence of the kids getting off, it's like one long shot, and it pans over the field. And overall, I mean, honestly, I think it's a great shot introducing this location and the volume of kids, and you get introduced to some of the camp counselors, and it's just this really beautiful sequence. This movie has a lot of really long takes in these transitional moments I really enjoy. From the opening credits to this, to there's a few more later in the movie, but this is a really great introduction to the location.
Well, and it's also a great introduction to Artie, who is the camp chef, who is a disgusting
Oh, my God.
pedophile. And
I forgot
and
that.
what kills me, okay, so he's like sitting there watching the kids run around and he's like licking his lips and sucking on a straw. And he's like, ooh, look at that fresh chicken. Where I'm from, we call them baldies. And that is pure.
And his friend is like, don't say that.
Just laughs at him. Just laughs. He's like, oh, Artie, they're too young to know what you're thinking. Oh.
He's like, there's no such thing as too young. You're only too old.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, you are really endorsing
You're
this
aggressively a
pedophile.
pedophile. Like, this man isn't even trying to hide it. And I get it, like, the 80s were a different time, but not for pedophilia, I feel. And this man is just very open about the fact he's very interested in these 12 and 13-year-old girls.
My jaw was kind of on the floor. When he started talking, I was like, what? Well, sure don't remember that.
Yeah, and again, like, the fact that the cast is so age-appropriate in most cases with this makes it even... This is an area where it's even way more uncomfortable. Because, yeah, I mean, like, you look at this and he's, like, eyeballing these girls, and it cuts to a shot of girls running, and they're, like, children. And you're like, I don't know what message we're trying to send here. I hope he dies really soon.
Exactly. Well, and see, okay, so I'm gonna say this: of all the problematic things about this film, I think the ending is one of the least. When
I
you
agree.
Look at everything else that's happening.
And you know what's funny though? One thing I
mean,
do like about this
come
film
on.
is they do kind of set it up so that like anyone who kind of does end up getting hurt has kind of earned it. Aside from like there's one kill that I'm like, why did that happen? But all the characters kind of have a purpose. They've done something wrong in order to reap the benefits.
We're gonna get
of
there.
their
We're gonna
death.
get there because that feeds into one of my big reasons for not thinking the ending of this film is as problematic as people say it is. But we'll get there. We get our first glimpse of Judy. Fucking Judy.
What an icon.
There could be a whole episode about Judy.
Yes, I agree. Judy is a bitch. Let's just put it out
Well,
there.
she
But
got
we're
her
not talking
titties
about
now,
it.
so
She has her titties. But this girl is a bitch of epic proportions. Can we just say that I know that people talk about like horror movie bitches and they bring up like Wendy from Prom Night and Melissa from Friday the 13th Part 7. Those two have nothing on Judy. I'm sorry.
She's a masterclass performance of bitchery. From the faces, the dialogue delivery, she's never not a bitch.
I noticed her performance a little bit more this time, and she's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are moments in this film where she's just sitting staring at Angela. Like there's a scene where Angela's talking to Paul for the first time in the rec hall, and Judy's sitting across from her and just giving her this.
between those two extras who were chewing gum, I watched them.
Yeah, it's just like her performance is really good, and she never really did much more after that.
Yeah. I think when I used the term diverse earlier and kind of backtracked on it because, yes, this is a very Caucasian cast, but the personalities and the performances in this movie are full of a lot of very unique, individualized choices that are made. And even though it's a big cast and it would be very easy to get confused, I feel that as if you watch the movie, Everyone is very individualized, and it makes actually pretty easy to follow the story despite the large volume of characters.
Yeah, I agree.
I appreciated that a lot too. That there wasn't just like, because it would have been easy also to make it like Angela comes to camp and everyone makes fun of her because she's so quiet. But it's a very diverse just group in general, and their reactions to the people around them are all diverse as well.
Yeah, because not everyone is actually mean to Angela. There are, what's that counselor's name? Susie? Is it Susie?
I think,
Yeah.
Susie, yeah.
It's like Good Witch, Bad Witch with Meg and Susie.
Yeah, and then there's Ronnie, who's really nice to Angela. But okay, so after the kids get off the bus and run, we get a scene in the cabin with Angela staring at
Judy. And I'll tell you, I don't want to like be on Judy's side, but it was awkward. She
It was awkward.
sat on her bed, stared directly at Judy, and just didn't say anything.
no.
That's how I say hello.
Judy was like, do you need something? And I kind of get it, because I was like, why? If she did that to me, I would be like, hello?
You know, Troy, it made me think of when you threw Chris and I into a hotel for the first time together. And Chris's way of saying hello to me was he just sat on the bed and just looked at me for 25 minutes.
Yeah, I just
without
turned
saying a
directly at
word.
Roger, and I stared, and I was like, are you...
Emotionless. just blankly, dead-eyed staring.
And she's like, what are you staring at me for? And of course, Angela doesn't say a thing. She just keeps staring. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, you're really not setting yourself up, honestly.
No, yeah, Angela's really she's not doing much in her own favor in the way she communicates with these kids.
That is another thing about Angela. She really doesn't do anything to help herself throughout this film. Well, from the bullying and stuff, obviously she does some shit to help herself. But I'm talking about like the confrontation wise, she never really all she had to do, because it is really awkward. She's sitting there staring at Judy. All she had to do is like say, hey.
Yeah, if she didn't stare at her in the first place, she's fine. But going back to the situation of what's going on here that we find out later, this is why I like watching it and then rewatching it, because moments like this make more sense to me now that I know the ending. Because the psyche of what Angela is going through, I can't imagine seeing girls whose bodies are changing and the confusion that Angela must be feeling. And so it makes sense to stare at somebody like Judy, who's obviously like, her whole thing is like, my titties just came in, I'm slutting it up. And Angela's kind of like, I don't know what's going on with my life and my body, and I don't know.
And I'm going to suppress it.
Feel or what's happening. So, of course... Yeah, staring at Judy would be kind of like, there's so much going on. Because, like, I think the psyche of the character of Angela is so incredible because I can't imagine what is going through their head.
Yeah, there's a reason she's so silent for a huge chunk of the movie, and there's a lot to read in that blank stare, and genuinely like what she's processing and at the age she's at. And there's a reason they have this cast at, kids who are 13, 14, 15. Like, this is a very pivotal time. There's a lot of sexuality in this movie. There's a reason you see a lot of these scenes of the boys streaking, everything, that comes up, because it's sexual awakening, and having a camp scene like a sequence like this really establishes that. Because she's in the middle of this room with all these girls just getting changed and talking about their boobs. One thing I find interesting is the nudity in this is pretty limited, but when you do see nudity, it's a lot of male. Lots of
it's all male behind.
Yeah, lots of male butts. The males are so sexualized. You see how sexualized they are at this age, and the girls are a little more in control of who they are already.
Yeah, because the guys in this film are they're wearing short shorts, half shirts. Most of them aren't even wearing shirts half the time.
Like Billy.
Yeah, and even like Ricky is walking around without a shirt on at some point, and Paul is walking around without a shirt on. I mean, and these are like 13, 14-year-old kids. So there is that element that makes this movie a little bit uncomfortable watching it. We also get introduced to Meg. M-E-G.
M-E-G, Meg.
In case you were fucking questioning it. Like what would the spelling be other than that? But
I think Meg is gorgeous.
Yeah,
I think that the actress is so beautiful, still beautiful.
She is Catherine Kami. Yeah, she's gorgeous.
She is stunning.
But she is sort of like Judy's sidekick in this whole thing. Her and Judy kind of gang up on Angela throughout the film, and then you do have like Susie, who's the other female counselor, who is very nice and caring and protective towards Angela to no avail, because again, Angela won't help herself throughout the film. She just sits there and doesn't say a word and just provokes people by staring at them in awkward ways. But yeah, so you're already getting this dynamic, and you're kind of getting that conflict that's starting to arise between the characters. You already know, okay, Judy and Angela are going to be butting heads throughout this film.
And Meg is not any better. I mean, honestly, like, Judy is the bigger performance, but Meg, some of the things Meg says, especially progressively, is, she is just as big of a bitch in a lot of regards.
Meg's also really hot-headed. She gets more aggressive more quickly.
Yes, she does. And it's more disturbing because she's a counselor.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be taking care of the kids, not like torturing them. And
there's a lot of supposed like adult or mature figures in this movie who have no issue manhandling a child.
The camp owner, for crying out loud.
He was shaking Ricky at one point, like just shaking him until he passes out. Like, the adults in this have no issue placing their hands on kids, but it's a different time. It's the 80s.
Okay, so it's the next day, or it's the same day. I don't know. It's dinner time, and no, it's 3 days later because
it's been 3 days.
3
later,
days.
yeah.
Okay.
Angela hasn't eaten in 3 days.
She has not eaten in 3 days, and she's just sitting at the cafeteria table, just staring at everybody, and
sitting next to Judy for some reason. Like, weird seat choice.
Why would you sit next to Judy?
Like really, like out of all the places to put yourself, like, this is going to be the most problematic.
I'm gonna not eat and sit next to Judy and just stare.
So, the Ronnie, the counselor, who also wears really short shorts, and
oh my god, that red and white tracksuit he's wearing, that looks like he was sewn into it.
Yes.
Oh my, I've never seen a pair of shorts ride a guy's thighs tighter.
What do you wear under that?
I don't think he's wearing
nothing.
anything.
Obviously, there's a full dick imprint.
How
like,
do you
you
keep
have
it
a
together?
full on.
It's gonna fall out.
Mushroom imprint.
I guess
the pants are so tight. There's nowhere for it to go. It's suction. It's like those when you like suction bag those meats into like the freezer bags. You know what I'm talking about? Vacuum sealing. He's like vacuum sealed into this outfit. I digress.
But he's a nice guy. He takes Angela into the back the kitchen. Okay, the back.
Where food is made.
The back cookroom. The kitchen. That's what it's. Takes Angela to the kitchen, and of all the fucking people in the world, he trusts Artie. I mean,
He hands her right over to him.
He does. He's like, "Here, Artie. Here's this 12-year-old."
He also says,
"Well, let's be real. Whoever hired Artie to begin
well, we've
with,
seen who runs the camp.
That was a problem.
The guy that runs the camp should not be running a camp.
Oh, he's so attentive to children.
He should be in a nursing home, is what he should be in. Good grief.
And Angela hasn't eaten in 3 days, and Ronnie says, why don't you get her some ice cream?
Well, at this point, why not get her some solid food? I'm scared she's going to die. So maybe we should get her, like, I don't know, an IV drip or something.
Ice cream. Go find her some ice cream in the pantry.
But also, why doesn't Angela eat?
The fact that her mind is imploding because of all of the sensors going off right now.
I can't imagine what's going on in poor Angela's head.
Artie takes Angela into the pantry and proceeds to basically begin to rape her. I mean, he's unbuttoning his belt. He's like, "Oh, aren't you a fresh young thing? I got something you're going to like real good." And he starts unbuttoning his belt.
He's ready.
This is not even like slightly suggested at. It is very clear that he would rape her. If events didn't transpire the way they do, this girl would have been, without a doubt in my mind, raped by this man.
Yes. Oh, he was ready. Luckily, Ricky walks in. Because he's looking for his sister or his cousin, Angela, and they tell him that she's in the kitchen getting food. So he walks in at just the right moment, sees what's going on, and is like, "Well, hey, what the fuck are you doing?" And that's one thing I like about Ricky, the Ricky character, for being a scrawny little shit. He's not afraid to confront anybody. Because he's like, gets right in Artie's face. "What the fuck are you doing, man?" And Artie grabs him and like slams him against the wall and is like, "If you tell anybody, I'm going to kill you." And they run out.
And he's like, "I won't."
Yeah, and they run, and he doesn't. He does not tell anybody. "Hey,
he doesn't tell anybody.
Almost raped my cousin." So Ricky, you're a piece of shit too. Come on. This movie is full of pieces of shit. That's just. I don't know why they're so awful. They're such awful characters in this. Anyway, so they run out of the room. They run out of the kitchen, and now we get Artie coming out of the pantry. I cannot think of my kitchen terminology today. He comes out of the pantry, and he's like, it looks like he's still buttoning up his pants, and nobody's questioning him.
Oh, he is. Like, he's blatantly buttoning up his pants.
Yeah, and nobody's like, why are you buttoning up your pants? And two kids just ran out.
I feel like this has been a common occurrence at the camp, and they just are like, oh, Artie. That's not where you keep the mashed potatoes.
But now he's making the biggest pot I've ever seen.
It is not a real pot. There's no way there are pots that are this large.
I was gonna say, are pots this big?
It's a 7-foot tall pot that you need a ladder to climb up.
The man literally has to get up on a chair.
On a ladder to stir it and to put the corn in it. Right away, that is a hazard, as we find out. But I've never seen a 7-foot pot.
I mean, I guess if you have to feed a horde of children, like literally, like the volume of kids in the pasta, he must be making so much pasta.
But he's giving them full ears of corn. I've never. When I was at summer camp, I did not get full ears of corn.
I'm also sure that they could have had like two like half of the size pots. They were only using the one boiler.
Yeah, it's crazy. But anyways, he is putting the corn in the pot and he has to get up on the ladder, as we just said. And someone, we don't know who, sneaks into the kitchen and basically grabs the chair out from under him. And he's screaming as the person starts pulling the chair. He's like, "You little shit, you little..." So we kind of know it's a kid. He's like, "You little shit, what are you doing? Help me." And the person yanks the pot of the chair away, and Artie grabs the pot and it falls on him, and he is covered in boiling water.
This sequence is like, at first, like, you see the pot go down and you're like, oh, like, I didn't see anything. And then, like, you see his hands like reaching to the ceiling, blistered, and you're like, oh, that's pretty violent. And then it like cuts
to
his face, blistered, and he's screaming, and you're like, oh, fuck, that's really violent. And it just doesn't go away. It just lingers.
His scream is pretty damn effective. It sounds very like he's really in pain. And yeah, you're right. It does not cut away. It lingers on his face long enough that you actually see blisters popping on his neck.
Yeah.
I mean, the effects for this are actually pretty well done.
Yeah, they're literally like throbbing on his face, like, and you see an area of his skin start like
peeling
opening
off,
and bleeding. It is so grotesque. It's by far one of the best makeup effects I can think of from the era, or probably from a slasher or a horror movie in general. It is just an amazing effect.
Now, my thing is, I don't think he dies, though. They take him to the hospital.
He doesn't. They take him away.
Yeah, so
his friend finds him.
I wonder if, Ben walks in and sees him and it's like, oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's just like, oh. That's his reaction, really.
Now I have to boil new water.
Yeah. But my thought was, if he doesn't die, well, maybe he probably can't talk anymore. I was going to say, he very easily can tell who did it to him or write down.
He's not going to have a great... Oh, that's true.
But, I mean, obviously that doesn't happen. Maybe he does die and we just don't know. I don't know. But Mel is the camp owner. He's this old guy that is just weird, that doesn't need to be running a camp, doesn't need to be doing anything. Like I said, he is just the most worthless camp owner I've ever met. Not that I know a lot of camp owners, but this guy, he's like, "I don't want anybody to know. You can't tell anybody. And I'm going to make you head chef, Ben, and you're going to get an extra $50 a week if you shut your mouth."
Honestly, I would have taken the deal too.
Yeah, $15? Yeah, I guess right now at this time in my life, I would do a lot for $50.
I'll do it for a salad a week.
Oh my God. Yeah, like a Hershey bar, I'm sold.
But yeah, so now Ben is the lead chef now, which I guess is better than Artie.
Oh yeah, he's a much nicer guy.
He's
not trying to molest. He's not trying to molest the children.
No, he's a pedophile enabler, but at least he's not like literally like salivating over the kids. Next we get a kind of a gay scene in the boys' cabin.
Is this a baseball scene? Oh no.
No, it's that's coming up.
This is what I wanted to ask.
Mind over matter. No, it's the mind over matter scene where they're playing a joke, and basically this camper named Mozart, who looks like a little lesbian, gets Paul's ass in his face.
So this is my question. Paul was 15 at the time of filming this.
Yeah.
It's a child's ass.
It's a literal child's ass.
It's the ass of a child.
How is that a thing? How is that allowed?
How do I feel comfortable watching this? I don't. Like, first of all, I do not feel comfortable watching
his
it.
parents must have signed a waiver. I mean, I don't know why I know. I do know why I know this because I was an English teacher. But like Olivia Hussey, you know who that is? Queen Olivia Hussey, Black person. She was 15 when she filmed Romeo and Juliet, and she shows her tits, and it's because her parents signed a release.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, so
Wow.
Yeah, that happened, and I was like, he's an actual.
it is
child.
an actual child. He's 15 when he made this. Christopher.
Yeah.
I guess a butt compared to like a genitalia.
Well, for sure, yeah.
But still, like I was like, at this point, I was already like very much like these kids are, of the age I would anticipate them to be in a summer camp, and there's a butt with basically a sphincter shot, like a butthole, like it's a full like a buttocks reveal, and I'm like, oh god, there's not a hair on that, like that's make me feel uncomfortable.
Like that happened, and that was what triggered me to be like, wait, how old was he when he did this? Because she doesn't look 18 playing.
No,
15.
he's not. He's young. He's young.
Yeah.
Okay, so next is the baseball game.
It's very long scene of baseball.
The shorts aren't long though. Those shorts are not long. They are riding high.
No, they're not long. So this baseball scene goes on literally forever. I mean, I didn't really time it, but it goes on a long time. And it's just a bunch of shenanigans between the boys, like Ricky's cabin, and then the other older guys are like competitive, and they're just like calling each other names, and you get the famous "eat shit and live" Bill, because Bill tells Ricky to eat shit and die, and eat shit and live, Bill.
There's a few one-liners in this movie that hold up over the test of time. I mean, the way the script is written, it sounds very much of the age of these kids, the swearing and the crudeness. And I also have to say, during this sequence, I've been asked the question, if there's one horror movie character that if you could get in bed with one horror movie actor or character, which one would it be? And I've never really actually thought of someone who I've been confident in saying until I think of this movie, and I think of Gino in that crop top and those denim shorts and that fuzzy tummy, because I know he's of age.
Yeah.
And I think, you know what? Mama like.
Oh boy,
my kind of man. That tan Latino skin. Oh my god, he's
but
beautiful.
is he supposed to be a camper, or is he like a counselor?
He's a counselor.
I was gonna say, yeah, I don't know. Okay, but this baseball scene goes on. It could be edited down, I think, a little bit, because it gets kind of a little tedious. But Ricky's team ends up winning, yay, and they're pissing off the
older kids.
The older kids, which then in turn I think kind of plays into like what happens in the next scene when they are at the rec hall that night. So the next scene is the guys, they're at the rec hall, and Angela is there, and she is actually talking to, or she's not talking to anybody. Judy's there talking to two guys that are like chewing gum next to her. And this is when the guys that just lost the baseball game to Ricky, they go over and ask Angela if she wants to go skinny dipping, because they make a bet that, hey, go ask Angela, and she of course does not answer them. And this is another example. All she has to do is say like, no thanks. Instead, she just like stares at them
with like that dead-eyed expression. Like, it's not even like you could read anything like discomfort or like a shrug. She just looks at them blankly with no expression whatsoever.
And they get mad at her and start making fun of her and asking her why she's so fucked up. And they're
very blunt. Just like, why are you so stupid, Angela? Why don't you talk, Angela?
Why are you so fucked up? And they're like walking like zombies around her. Ricky comes in and a big brawl ensues. And I love how like they're fighting, and like Mel and Meg are like standing right there. They do nothing.
Yeah, they like cross their arms.
Yeah,
and
they don't
giggle.
do anything. And so Ricky gets taken out, the guys get taken out, and this is when Paul goes over and talks to Angela. And he is very sweet to her, and he starts telling her about how long him and Ricky have been friends, and he starts telling her about trouble that they've gotten into in the past at camp. And as Paul gets up to leave Angela, he tells her good night, and we get the first word out of Angela's mouth the entire film, and she says good night very softly, and then just gives a little, embarrassed look away. The whole time, Judy is over there glaring, giving her bitch side eye the whole time.
Because Angela can have no joy. In Judy's world, Angela can have zero joy.
Especially attention from a boy.
A boy, yes. Because I think, Judy feels like all the boys should be giving her the attention.
And she's right. But, what can you do?
Leave some dick for Angela, at least. That was a bad joke. Oh, just kidding. Okay.
I just got it.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it until after I said it. Okay, so then we get guys' asses galore. So
yes,
for us little gay boys that were watching this movie in the 80s, for the first time, this was probably one of the first movies I saw so much like male ass in my entire life.
Yeah. For a young horror fan, it's boner central. Now watching it as a grown adult, luckily, the people in this sequence are I think counselors.
Yeah,
so
they're all the
a
older.
little bit older, including Billy, who is a character who is kind of a dick. He's kind of like an instigator, and he never wears clothing. The most you see him in is crop denim shorts. Other than that, he's always shirtless.
And it is interesting. I mean, I think we can mention it. It is interesting that most slasher flicks get a lot of gruff for being sexist and sexualizing the women and just showing tits and ass on women. And this film does the opposite.
Yeah, there's actually no female nudity.
And even the shower scene with Meg coming up, she doesn't show her tits.
No.
Yeah. Thinking about what's been brought up about Angela's mental state and the overall journey the character has, and as you look back upon this after having watched it, I'm sure. I wonder if it was intentional. If that's almost they flipped the script because of this character's state of mind and who they are, and the characters around them, and these boys being boys and these girls being girls, and I wonder if they flipped the script on that on purpose.
I would imagine so. It has to be on purpose. I mean, I don't see it being any other way in terms of having your cast of young males get naked. But
yeah,
a lot, and wear the skimpiest little outfits ever. It's the outfits these guys are wearing are just it doesn't leave much to the imagination at all. I mean, that you get bulges, you get asses, you get abs, you get everything.
And they're grabbing their junk at each other and things. It is just so gay.
So the guys go skinny dipping, and there's the one kid, Kenny, who is one of the ones that was bothering Angela in the rec hall. He actually gets on a canoe with this girl named Leslie, and he is just telling her that there's snakes and water moccasins in the lake, and then he tips the canoe over, and they fall in the water, and she's like, "You asshole!"
I'm swimming away with my shoes
away.
on.
Yes.
My scene's over.
And then she gets out of the water with her girls, and they all leave. And yes, one of them looks like Annie, Orphan Annie, grew up, and she's an extra.
This is the second podcast in a row that Eileen Quinn as Orphan Annie has come up. Continue.
But there's that girl that really. Are you talking about the really tall girl?
There's a really tall, curly,
Yeah,
redheaded girl,
I know who you're
and
talking
I
about.
couldn't stop staring at her.
Yeah,
I was
she
like,
just-
who did this?
Yeah, she's there. She's there in all her glory. Kenny goes under the canoe, and basically someone pops up in front of him.
Well, also, I like that he just kind of is singing to himself and saying Leslie, Leslie, but he's alone and she's swimming away.
Ba, 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 bee, ba, ba, ba. He's just singing, and he thinks someone pops up in front of him. You just get the head that comes out of the water. It's pretty effective, and just
they have dark hair,
and just I think everyone in this film that gets killed before they get killed has to say something where we know they recognize who it is.
Yeah, they're not shocked by seeing this person.
Because he's like,
what are you doing out here?
Yeah, he's like, it's you. Oh, the boys are going to be happy to see you here. And then this person drowns him, holds his head
Yeah,
under.
and he waves goodbye to us as he's drowning, honestly. does not really struggle at all. He's just like, bye.
That's what I wrote. There's absolutely no struggle at all. And now us knowing who the killer is, we know who the killer is, obviously.
Yeah, it
now.
seems as though maybe he could have just been like, swim away or push them.
He could have done something. He literally, yeah, you're right. He sticks his head out of the water and is like, yeah, see ya, bye.
But also knowing what we know about this character and what's actually going on with them and their bodies and so forth, maybe they have a little more strength than we would have anticipated.
Than we anticipated.
Could be. I mean, but still, it's pretty hard to hold someone underwater and drown them. It's not
Especially
easy.
if you're treading.
Yeah,
like,
it's not an easy task.
I will say, when it cuts to the guys calling back to him, you see the boat kind of bobbling. You see the boat rocking. Like, you cut away from the commotion under the boat pretty quick. So, and you don't really see exactly what happens under that boat. It's more left to, like, the imagination. And obviously you know something because of what happens the next morning. But, yeah, it's definitely, like, you don't see a whole lot of the drowning.
Yeah. So maybe she stabbed him. Who knows? Maybe when she was under the water, she had a knife and stabbed him. Who knows?
he does have, like, when he is found, he's got a little bit of blood and stuff on him.
Yeah, but is that from maybe, like, because he's been underwater overnight, the fact that his body's bloated? Like, how long does it take for that? I don't really know. All I know is when you do see the body, it's a fucking great effect. So this is awesome body reveal number 2, with an amazing effect with a snake coming out of the mouth.
Yeah, because the very next morning, one of the other counselors finds Kenny's body under a canoe. And there is a lingering shot of his face that's all like pale, and there's seaweed in his mouth, and a snake proceeds to like crawl out of his mouth. It's disgusting.
It's obviously got to be a doll or a mannequin, but it's such a well done one that it's like you're just so impressed by the reveal.
What can I tell you? I watched this with a friend, and she was like, oh my God, how did that actor stay so still when that snake came out? I said, girl, that's definitely not him.
That's a doll.
A mannequin.
But the fact that they even got that response from your friend means that they did a pretty fucking good job.
Not you thinking that that's the actor.
Yeah, it's a really good effect. And of course, the body gets taken away, and Mel again is very defensive. Mel, the camp owner, he does not want anybody to know. He's like, tell him it's an accident.
This was an accident.
And that cop with the mustache, we get to see him for the first time.
Oh no, the mustache.
The mustache.
Why did they do that?
I don't know. It seems
To me, it looks like pieces of lead taped together that he put on his face.
Yeah, it looks a little bit more realistic when he's first introduced than it does at the end, and I'm wondering if like he shaved it off and had to come back to film his end scenes. Like, shit, you had a mustache when you filmed your first scene. We better draw it on you.
I actually didn't even notice it really in the first scene. It wasn't until later on he had a close up.
Because I
was
think
what?
in the first scene, I think it's his real mustache. In the second scene with him at the end, it's not. It's totally fake.
Oh my
so I'm
God.
thinking he shaved it off and then had to come back and film his scenes. And they're like, oh, well, we better give you a mustache since you had one in the opening
Here, take
scene.
this felt.
Yeah, right. With this glue.
Here's some duct tape. Put it on your upper lip.
But so Mel is being defensive. He's like he screams at Ronnie about nobody's gonna know, and so this is the second death at the camp. And now we cut to a volleyball game with Judy and her side ponytail, with her shirt with her name on it even. She was wearing a...
Judy is iconic. She is inspiration to gay men. She is a fashionista. She is a trend starter. That shirt, I would A, wear a shirt with my name on it, B, wear a shirt with Judy's name on it.
And have a giant side ponytail.
Oh my God, if only I could grow my hair out that long. I'm balding.
I'll get you a wig. Judy wig.
Thank you.
So Paul comes over and starts talking to Angela, and now Angela's actually very chatty now. She's full.
Turns out she can talk.
She can talk. She can hold a conversation, and she's more than happy to talk to Paul. She has a thing for Paul. However, Judy gets pissed, and it's like, how come Angela gets to talk to the boys when we gotta play volleyball? What is she?
What?
Special?
I wrote down that quote. What is she? Special? And kind of, honestly, Angela is kind of...
I mean, had a very special life. She's had a very special series of events happen to her. So in a way, yes.
Well, and then Meg goes and yells at her and is like,
Yeah.
"You listen here, you little bitch. If you're not going to play volleyball, you sit there and shut up and don't talk."
Yeah, Meg's very aggressive.
And
At this point, I get it, Meg. Like, if that girl was just disrespecting me.
well, and here's
yeah,
the thing: is
disrespecting me.
here's the thing. Like, you literally, as Meg being the camp counselor, I literally just saw her talking. I know she can talk.
Yeah, she won't talk to you.
She won't talk to you. She won't acknowledge.
She won't play volleyball.
No. So,
But she will flirt it up with this boy
Yeah.
and then ignore me but stare at me while I'm sleeping. I'm mad.
Isn't this the part where Meg grabs her and starts shaking her and like,
Yeah,
No,
and she's like, you
that's-
little bitch.
Isn't that's at the swimming
Oh,
pool?
that's at the swimming pool. Yeah, Meg is just constantly aggressive, so it's hard to.
She's
keep
very
track.
angry.
Yeah, she's
angry
just
girl.
angry.
But I get it because,
Yeah.
spoiler alert, she's sleeping with the
Oh God, don't even go
man
there.
in charge.
Ugh.
The elderly man?
Yes.
I thought that was the case. She really is?
Yes. she
Yeah, they
is.
have a
Oh, girl,
Yeah.
you could do so much
So
better.
I think that's why she's angry. Because he's not showing her enough attention because he's trying to cover up all the murders.
Well, he
very
probably
old.
can't get it hard either. I would be.
Yeah, he's literally,
I
for
wasn't gonna bring
listeners,
it up.
let's be clear, he's roughly 60 years old.
He's more than 60,
right?
probably
He's
pushing
oh
70.
my god, that poor girl. She is settling too low.
Yeah.
The bar is too low.
And I'm hoping she's 18 because if she's not, that's also right back to the pedophilia.
It would not surprise me if she was not 18.
I was a camp counselor when I was like 16.
Yeah, I don't think she's 18, honestly, in this film. I mean, I think she's supposed to be like younger than 18. I don't know.
Woof. Anyway.
Anyway, there's a lot of oof in this movie. So now it's after the movie because Paul had asked Angela if she wants to go to a movie. She agrees, even though she says we have to go anyway. Anyway, so now it's after the movie, and Paul and Angela now are an item. Like they're an item.
They're holding hands.
They're holding hands.
Yeah.
Judy is not happy. I don't know what Judy's problem is. Like she could have any of these hot guys, and she is just like fixated.
Yeah, Judy doesn't even like Paul like that.
I think. I mean, is she just jealous? She just doesn't want Angela to be happy or have it.
Yeah, that's like her anger is just very directed towards Angela with no real rationale other than I'm a bitch. And that's all that matters here is how bitchy I can be.
And this is when Paul kisses Angela for the first time. And
I think it's so cute. It's awkward in the right way.
it is awkward, and you can tell she's very uncomfortable. And then he does it again.
Yeah, it gets a little bit rapey.
Yeah.
Just a pinch.
Well, this, honestly, to me, this is the start of Paul's downfall.
It is.
With Angela.
It is. He's like, can I have another one? Even though he knows she's uncomfortable. You can tell she's uncomfortable. He's like, can I have another one? Like, and that's when she's like, I gotta go. Bye. And it is. You're very right. Because up until this point, Paul was, I thought, he is so sweet. He's cute. And he really likes Angela. It's very cute. But then he does, his personality definitely, true personality starts to show. And it's not pretty. Yeah. Rapey is a good, because there's another thing he does later on that's very rapey as well.
Absolutely. And I think that this starts to open that dialogue between the dynamics of guys that do these kind of things, where it's like Paul is, in a sense, he's the nice guy, but he's also like got this side of him where if you were to think, like if you were talking to Paul about it, I know he thinks that he's still being a nice guy.
Yeah. Well, and one of the notes like I wrote, because I was trying to look at this as like viewing this for a first time again, which is difficult, a movie like this or Halloween or something you've seen so many times. You also want to try to watch it with fresh eyes when you're going to really dissect it. So the first time you hear Paul and Angela talk, you're like, wow, Paul is genuinely seeming such a nice guy. He's seeming like such a genuine guy. And then you have a moment like this and he kind of just fucks up, and it makes me think of like movies like Jennifer's Body and all these other movies that have really taken the idea of the male character who is supposed to kind of be the good guy, and he just really just kind of lets you down.
Well, I think he feels like he's entitled to her affection because he's treated her nice, and he's like the only person that's really
Exactly.
So he's like, well, yeah, you're gonna kiss me, bitch. Who else? Nobody else is talking to you. Like, who are you?
But I think that sets the stage for a lot of how things like that really happen, and how a lot of guys don't realize that it's even happening because it's so ingrained in just their natural thing of like, I'm a nice guy and this is what I get for it. So, but you're, not nice if you need
Right
something.
now, we live in a time period where this is very much called out. In the 80s, this is something that I think a lot of characters or not characters, but, females, women.
And
who this really
Angela's
happened to,
already
stayed
quiet enough.
Yeah, and she's already quiet. So in a way, as this progresses, is it in a way calling out how, women are treated, how men speak to them, considering everything that happens and what we know happens at the end of this movie, and, the outcome with Angela being what it is. It's just pointing out the fact that that men feel like they can treat a female or talk to a female or are entitled to something from a female that the female may not want to necessarily reciprocate. And in this, it just so happens that this female does not necessarily want to reciprocate, and we, as we learn more.
And again, the psyche of Angela in this moment being kissed by this boy, like, what is going through Angela's head? Because knowing the outcome, has to be, it's more than just like, I had my first kiss, but I didn't really want it. It's like, what's going on here? Yeah. Who am I? What is this?
Yeah.
Is
Why
this
am
okay?
I feeling so not right? Because
is this even right? Am I interested in this? And then the flashback, obviously, that comes to seeing their father, and there's so many layers to what this person would be feeling in this moment.
Right. And a lot of people, and not to dive into this too much because this is going to be for the end, but a lot of people bring up the situation with the character reveal being very problematic. But I think a lot of this is pointing that this character was not intentionally. This character was forced into this mentality.
100%.
Yeah, this character is not let's just say it. People know this movie like the back of their hands.
Yes.
This character is not a transgender individual. This character is someone who is forced into a certain lifestyle by an adult figure who is very eccentric and strange and chose to raise them a certain way, all things considered, and that was fine because as a child they didn't necessarily understand. But now they're starting to understand, and that is fucking with their mind, and they're not responding well, and all of these things are setting off all of this shit going on in their head, and of course this boy coming onto them aggressively against their will is going to cause them to respond poorly.
And meanwhile, they're in the midst of seeing, literally, it's puberty time. So you're seeing all these different people and what they're experiencing. You brought it up earlier, like boys being boys, girls being girls, blah, blah, blah. This person, I assume, is so lost mentally about where they fit and what feels right and what their identity is, because they feel a certain way, I'm sure, but they are being forced to express themselves a certain way. So it's so interesting that this would all be happening during the puberty time.
Well, we'll get to that. That's a conversation to have at the end because there's a lot I want to say about that, but it's like I said, that we'll save that it's for the end. But let's get to the end as quickly as possible because that's what people want to hear us talk about. I think is the end of this film. But we'll go through. And speaking of puberty, kind of the next scene is Judy basically confronting Angela in the cabin about not showering with the other girls, and this is like Judy's like paramount bitch moment. I mean, she goes in full force on Angela.
She gives it to us.
She's like, hey, Angela, how come you don't shower with the other girls? You queer or something? I bet you haven't reached puberty. You probably have no hair down below. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And then Susie steps in and is like, leave her alone. She's just, she's allowed to shower when she wants. And she's like, oh, she's a real carpenter's dream. Flat as a board and needs a screw.
And then she slaps her.
Susie slaps her.
Susie slaps the shit out of Judy.
She does. And she feels bad about it. She's like crying.
Oh my God, she gives me an acting moment where she is in tears while Angela's like, okay, I'm gonna go now.
Yeah.
I have to say that I can't think of a bitch character in a film at this point, more deserving of an epic, grandiose, violent kill sequence than Judy. She really she just takes the fucking crown with this moment. She's such, and excuse my language, cunt, because I can't think of any other words that really would fit how maniacal this girl is.
She is. Poor Angela's walking out wherever she's going. Where did she say she was going? She was going to go.
I think she was going to the swimming hole or something.
I don't know. Well,
She's
she
like,
doesn't
I'll be back later.
Yeah, but she gets water balloons thrown at her.
This water balloon is one of my favorite moments because she is knocked out. Like, that water balloon hits her chest and she drops.
Yeah.
And she's on the ground until the end of the scene.
She is. The guys are like laughing, and Ricky is screaming, you fuckers, come down here. And like, they miraculously get off that roof pretty quick.
Very fast.
Because Mel comes, it's like, get off the roof. And like, there's not even like a second that passes, and all of a sudden they're there.
Angela's climbing out of the ground.
Yeah.
There are so many things being done against poor Angela, and Mel, like, proceeds to form a vendetta against Ricky.
Yes.
Like,
he
out of
thinks
all the
Ricky's
people,
doing this.
Yeah, he thinks Ricky is the one who's, like, problematic, and, like, these kids are doing just horrible things to this girl, and he is, yes, he's defensive as her relative, but, like, out of all the people to have issue with, are you really going to hold it against this kid, who's actually, like, you know, being a stand-up guy and defending his cousin, who obviously has mental trauma because she's completely mute? Like, I just don't understand this adult's reasoning.
No, he's a dick. He's like, oh, Angela, get up and go change your shirt before you get pneumonia. I mean, he doesn't like go and like try to be like, oh, are you okay? You know what? No, just go change your shirt. You're gonna get pneumonia. It's cold out.
This girl is aggressively bullied, like, day after day. I'm tapping this in teacher shortage moments, but like, seriously, this child is. It applies here. It applies. The adults are not doing their jobs. These are fucking camp counselors, and they should be in a place of authority. And the last thing they seem to care about is the fact this girl is being horribly traumatized. Nobody has a problem.
No, nobody does. Billy. That's the shirtless guy with the short shorts. He is looking good. He has to go take a dump, though. He's a wicked dump.
Yeah,
a wicked
dump.
Out of all the times for me to say he's looking good is when the guy goes to shit. But yeah.
Somebody... Yeah,
and this scene,
he's basically locked in this bathroom stall with a broom handle, and then someone, the killer, cuts the screen and somehow finds a beehive.
An entire beehive. Walks behind the thing and puts it through. Nobody noticed. Also, he didn't try to climb out from under the stall or anything, but every single bee from that hive definitely got their sting in.
Okay, listen. The volume of bees in this sequence is absurd. That being said, 3 for 3 at this point with the kills. Because this sequence, it is very, like, you don't see, like, anything that's happening within the stall, but you see the broom handle breaking because of the force of him hitting against it, and that alone is really jarring because, I mean, like, you got to think of how much force this guy's got to be putting on this door as he's screaming and beating on it, and finally the door breaks open, he falls, and you get this fucking gnarly reveal of his body as it pans down his arm, and you see the amount of welts from the bee stings, and you see his face, and it is literally covered in a sheath of bees. I've never seen this many bees in my life.
It's like Candyman just came out of that bathroom stall.
Yeah, and like I
10
said,
times over.
He could have easily crawled out from under the stall if he wanted to, but he doesn't try. But I guess if you get attacked by a swarm of bees,
I guess if you're
not
panicking
going to think
too,
about that.
like...
So now he's dead. So this is when. Now this is the third death, and now this is when Mel is like, someone has to be doing this, and he insinuates he knows who it is, and he's gonna stop him. And he's like, I've seen his face, I've seen his eyes, I know what he's up to, and
I don't know how he comes to that conclusion because he's wrong.
Why does he think
he is wrong? He is wrong. I don't know why he wouldn't think it's some of these little asshole boys that are like have no problem throwing a fucking water balloon at another camper. But it's Ricky is the one that's killing everybody. Okay. Then this is when Paul and Angela go to the lake, and this is when we get the whole scene where they're chasing each other around. They fall. He gets on top of her and like starts kissing her, and she clearly says no. And he's like, well, I'm not doing anything. And he starts feeling her up.
Yeah. This is also when she has a flashback, I think, to her father kissing a man.
What a cool sequence, though. because the way they film this flashback, like it's very much a dream state, but you see like
Yes.
the POV of the two kids seeing her father figure, the father and the man in bed, and then it cuts to the kids in bed, and just this amazing rotation where the bed is rotating and spinning. And looking back on it, the fact that you see the girl, Angela, the child on the bed, and the brother pointing at her, and you don't know what that means, but what, like, now having seen the movie multiple times over, what a, like, well-handled, like, kind of dream sequence cutaway. It tells a lot in one or two shots,
And also the idea of like, because knowing what you know after the ending, essentially, Peter is kissing Paul, or Paul is kissing Peter. And is Peter comfortable with that? Is that, like, seeing this in the history, it makes it so that this isn't that abnormal, because I've seen this before. But simultaneously, am I comfortable with this? Is this what I want? I don't know. Also, I'm Angela. I don't know. Like, what does that mean?
And I think it's a very intentional that this flashback was placed here at this particular scene. I mean, obviously, but and it just makes it a little bit more, thought provoking, knowing the ending of the film. I don't think the film gets a lot of credit where it's due in terms of how it handles homosexuality.
Not at all.
Considering it was 1983, I think a lot of misplaced focus or outrage is placed at the ending of the film, which again I think is undeserved, but we're going to get there. But I mean, just to show like homosexual characters, and it's not like, I don't think it's showing them in a negative light at all. It's like two guys that are in love. I mean, these are the same two guys that at the beginning of the film, we now know it was the two guys from the beginning of the film. They're obviously in a relationship, dedicated relationship. It's not like they're negative. It's a negative portrayal. I mean, they're in love. They're in bed together. The kids just happen to be seeing it. And the kids, yeah, they're laughing, but however, they're kids. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm gay. I remember, like, if I was a 6 or 7 year old kid and I saw a guy kissing a guy, I'd probably laugh too. I mean, that's what kids do. It's nothing.
Honestly, in general, seeing anybody
It's
kiss,
not a
ew.
negative thing, So I appreciate how this film handles the whole gay subtext, and I know that a lot of other gay individuals have an issue with it. I don't. And I think we all bring different perspectives, different experiences to a film. And I just feel like this one handles it pretty well as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And that's not saying I can't see why some people would say, oh, it's problematic. But whatever. We'll get to that. Again, I want to get to that. We'll get to the end. So now we get a capture the flag game, which, like the baseball game, goes on way too long. The whole purpose of this scene basically was to set it up so that Paul and Judy make out and Angela sees them making out. I mean,
Yeah.
And also, those kids were really bad at the game. I watched them playing it. They were in a huddle and couldn't get each other's flags. It was also, I don't know what the age range of this camp is, but if you watch, there is one very, very either young or small girl
Very petite. I saw her
in the
too.
midst of the little blonde girl. It was like they threw a 2-year-old in there and were like, go ahead, girl.
It's like someone's like, I have a child and I'll produce the movie if you put her in it. It's like,
we got the perfect scene
all
for
ages.
her. We got the perfect scene for her. She's going to be in the capture the flag game. Run, little bitch. Get that flag.
Run around. Don't grab a flag, but run around.
But anyways, Angela sees Judy lures Paul into the woods. They make out. Angela finds out. She's not happy. That was the whole purpose of this scene. Okay. So the next scene is Angela like just loves sitting at the lake and just staring at the water. I mean, there's like 5 scenes where that's just where she's at. She's not getting in the water. She's just sitting there. Paul comes to apologize and she's not having it, especially when Judy comes and's like, oh, Paul, I can't believe you're talking to her after what a prude you said she was. And he's like, he has to scurry away with his tail between his legs.
That's my favorite response is like, instead of being like, I didn't say that, he's like, actually, I gotta go.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta go.
It's like, I absolutely said that.
You called her a prude. Well, sounds like my time to head on out.
And this
is, I think, when Meg comes over.
This
and
is when
shakes her.
well, this is when they throw her into the water.
Oh, they throw her
are
in the
like,
water.
Get in the water,
Yeah.
you little bitch. Tired of you not swimming. This is like abuse. I mean,
Yeah.
nobody. How do you know that this girl, the reason why she doesn't get in the water, because she legitimately doesn't know how to swim, and you're gonna like take her to the dock and throw her in the deepest part of the lake.
Also, nobody does anything. There's a lifeguard there.
Well, and what's great about this whole sequence is like as this is happening in the background, you have the whole scene where Mel is like shaking Ricky, and he's like, "I know you've done it. I know you killed these kids," and like she's getting screaming, getting pulled towards like down the dock, and this very long, drawn out sequence like over her shoulder, she's screaming, and he's just shaking Ricky as though he has anything to do with it.
And all these extras are
they're living for it. Well, they
love it.
They get to throw sand at her.
They do. There's also one random girl who's just like sitting on the dock watching.
It's Delores. It's Dolores.
She's like, "Oh my god!"
Oh no!
She's
Oh my
back
god,
to
Delores. I knew they.
She's like, "Someone do something about that."
Help those people.
But no, I do have to say that something to acknowledge: the kids that are throwing sand are probably like 8, 9,
They get
10.
They get theirs though.
To be acknowledged.
Yes, it's the kids from.
Their comeuppance.
Yeah. Oh, it's.
That's them.
Yeah, that's them.
That's the
kids.
kill
That's
that
the kids
I
go
thought
camping with
wasn't
Eddie.
justified, and you just justified it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. My eyes have seen the light.
I know, right? And it makes it that much more shocking knowing that they are fucking children yet again.
This is when we find out, after this scene, it's the night. Meg gets the night off. This is when we find out that her and Mel are an item, because she goes up to Mel and she's like, "Oh,
Yeah, she's gonna go on a date with him.
I can't think of anything more disgusting. I honestly can't think of anything more.
Meg is so beautiful. I don't know why she's doing this. Where is her self-esteem?
Because she's like, "I'm going to get a better job at the camp next summer. Just you wait and see. I'm going to be a manager."
I'm gonna manage the snack bar."
You're gonna see me on My Name in Lights. MEG.
Of the summer camp? Name and lights of the summer camp?
Yes.
Because Mel is just disgusting.
Yeah.
She makes a date with him, and she is legitimately, and this is what I don't understand. She's legitimately excited about it.
She loves him.
She is legit. Like this isn't like a case of her like, "Hey, I'm gonna fuck this old man because he's gonna make me head counselor next." No, she's legitimately like, she's like, "I got a date. I got a date. I got a date." She's telling everybody.
I can't tell anybody who it's with, but I'm gonna shower.
I got a shower. Hey, I got a shower. Will you guys let me go first in the shower? Because I got a date. And they're like, "Fuck
And all
you."
those extras said, no, 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 girl.
No, ma'am.
So she goes next door to take a shower. And
That's a bad choice for her.
Yeah.
because as she's humming,
Because as she is oddly singing in the shower.
yeah, and just rubbing the soap like over and over again. She's not even putting it on her body. She's just like, and she's up against the back of the shower door or the shower wall, and someone comes in and stabs her through the shower. And not only that, they pull the knife down. Ugh.
All the way down her back.
It is
That happened to me in a movie before.
Did it really? Which one?
It's not out yet.
Oh, well, damn it. Damn it. We want to see that shower scene.
You'll have to tell us after.
I'm not in the
recording,
shower.
so
I'm fighting to the death.
Oh, he's fighting. Wow.
Somebody sticks glass in my back and rips it
Ew,
down.
good.
we...
Great effects.
That would hurt.
I don't know.
And I kind of feel sorry. No, I don't. I mean, I kind of feel bad.
You know what? I feel like Meg gets a bad rap.
I mean-
she has a temper and she is very violent for no reason and she's rude. But did she deserve to have her spine slit open? I don't know.
Well, and I have to say, like, out of all the kills in this movie, like, this one is pretty cool, but I mean, it's also, like, one of the least plausible. Because I think of, like, if someone were to take a knife, stick it into the spine, and just rip downwards, like, that is, like, bone and tendon. It is,
Yeah.
you have to saw, and this knife is just cutting through it like butter.
It's also going through the wall thing between them at the same time.
Exactly, which is like a tarp material, because it's a shower, but yeah. It's very, It's the execution, as with a few of the kills in this movie, the execution of the kill leaves a pinch to be desired, but the reveal makes up for it and then some.
Yeah. Yeah. So Meg is gone. Poor Meg.
R.I.P. M.E.G.
Did you write that down?
That's my only note.
Yeah.
Actually, what I wrote was Meg slutting it up.
Yes, with the old man. Okay, so in the meantime, after Meg gets killed, we get a scene with Eddie, one of the counselors, taking this group of boys camping in the woods, and it's the same boys that were throwing the sand at at Angela when she got pulled out of the lake. Paul approaches Angela again to apologize. Just fucking be done with Paul already. He's an asshole, Angela. And she is. We don't know that she is because she actually is like, meet me at the waterfront after the social. And he's like, oh, okay. And he's all excited.
Holy cannoli.
It worked.
It worked. I'm a charmer. And then we cut back. The boys that are camping with Eddie want to take... One of them wakes up and wants Eddie to take him back. He's like, I'm cold, Eddie. I'd be like, shut the fuck up. I'm not taking you back.
Get in the fire, you little bitch.
You're in a summer camp. This is what happens.
And he has the whiniest voice. I'm cold, Eddie. I'm cold. I want to go home.
Yeah. A lot of the children, like the children portrayed in this movie, do a very good job of being horribly detestable.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of kids anyway.
I agree.
Let me drive this boat.
Poor Troy, you're a teacher.
High school. That's why I do high school.
Touche. Even worse.
Yeah. Okay, so this is when we cut to Judy. She's making out with, I think, Mike now, the blonde little studly Mike.
This bitch is giving everyone in this summer camp gonorrhea. Like, chlamydia out the wazoo.
She wants
Maybe
some
she's
dick.
born with it. Maybe
She's
it's
craving the dick. However, she gets cock blocked because Mel comes in looking for Meg. And Mike has to hide under the bed. After Mel leaves, Mike comes out from under the bed. And he's like, I'm going to go now. So she's pissed.
He came in his pants under the bed, so he...
I think he had to have because he's like, this is a teenage boy. Okay, you are trying to tell me a teenage boy is not going to stick around to at least get a hand job.
It kind of makes me think of the scene, and remember in the Sorority Row remake where Chugs is trying to make out with that freshman? And then he's like, this is kind of...
I love the Sorority Row
It's
remake.
one of the best. And he's like, this is just kind of gross. And she's like, you're probably gay anyways. Like, it kind of gave me that vibe.
You taste like vomit. Yeah, but it's okay. I had a minute.
I love her. Chugs is my spirit animal. But yeah, it kind of
Can
gave
I
me
tell you,
Chugs vibes.
that's Tawny from the Even Stevens.
I didn't even know it.
I love her. I love that movie. Leah Pipes.
We love her with her
anything to me.
She's the best villainess. We'll talk about that in another episode.
Yeah.
Bookmark
Bring me
it.
back for the remake.
Bookmark it.
I could go on about that film.
So anyway, she's pissed. She calls him a chicken shit, I think, and he's like, he walks. Yeah. He leaves. Like, dude, you could have at least gotten a blowjob or a hand job. Like, come on.
I think he must have,
I think he did.
Finished in his pants. Yeah.
This is when Mel goes next door and finds Meg's body, and he has the reaction to end all reactions.
What a scene!
It's a big one. It's a
also,
big
can we
response.
point out that Meg's dead body has been in the shower this whole time, but she catapults out of that bitch the moment he walks in the room.
Oh, like she's
like diving.
It's like she like launches herself through the curtain. Like, what was holding her up?
She was waiting for Mel. I mean, obviously.
She was like, you didn't take me on a date at all. I'm going to show you.
But her body falls out and it's like rigor mortis and bruised and there's a big old... It's really good effects. Again, the makeup effects are really good.
Yeah.
Great slit on her back. It looks great.
Yeah, across the board, the makeup in this is just...
But Mel is like, he did it. Not you, Meg. I got to stop him. And he's like freaking out.
Not you, Meg is my favorite. Not you, Meg.
Not you, Meg. My God, he did it to get back at me. Like, how this guy's fucking delusional.
What a moment.
He's also banging a child, so...
Yeah. Not the teenage girl I'm sleeping with.
I mean, I guess if I was that man and that was the ass I was getting, I too would be
he's
like...
not going to get better than Meg, let's be honest.
No, but this next scene is when Judy is on her bed curling her luscious locks with her curling iron.
In the dark.
In the dark.
Beautiful.
Someone actually opens the door and is like standing in the doorway, and you get a silhouette, and you can see the face pretty clearly, although it still doesn't really look like either Angela or Ricky. I mean,
it honestly
it's
to
the
me
hair.
looked like partially Ricky with the hair of Angela.
Yeah.
It was really strange.
You know, it looks like Angela, but as a boy, is what it looks like. It does. It looks like Angela dressed as a boy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a good...
I never thought about that.
The person approaches Judy, and again, like everyone, she recognizes the person. She's like, what are you doing here? And the person punches her in the face. And
it knocks her out. Again, a hit, and my girl is like on the pillow like, oh my God.
Oh, my face.
She's not cold. She's just literally.
Yeah.
And now the killer takes the curling iron, and we get an iconic curling iron death scene, which is not graphic at all. It's only done through shadow.
You
like you
feel
see
it.
the person raise the curling iron, and you see the shadow going down, and all of a sudden you hear it sizzle, and Judy's hands shoot up, and she just starts screaming bloody murder. I will admit, when I first saw this, I did not know what happened. I was like, oh, this person got stabbed with the curling iron. That's hard. Like, how do you do that?
That's hard.
But that's hard. How'd they stab? But now
Who did
knowing what
that?
happens, ouch.
Oh my god, yeah. And like the fact that like it's the shadow play and the score. Like as soon as her hands, you see the shadow of her hands go up against the curtain, and you get this amazing stinger, and it's just like, and it lingers on the hands, which are like grasping like claws because of obviously girls in pain. It's wild.
Yeah. You also hear her like squealing under the pillow, and there is a subtle shot of them opening her leg.
Her coochie is basically fried with the curling iron.
Yeah.
Would that kill you?
Yeah, but would this kill? That's my question. Would this kill? Maybe she was suffocated during it.
It could be, or it's just I'm assuming it's
shock of
extremely
it.
painful, so she probably like.
Yeah,
blacked
and I
out
mean her
and-
face is under a pillow. What if Judy's alive?
Just think about it.
In our hearts and in our minds.
She is alive. She's in an insane asylum because her coochie was burned and she couldn't deal with the
It's
abdomen.
Girl, we
burned
get
shut.
it.
Poor thing though, that would hurt.
We've all been there.
We've all had
our
our
coochies
coochies burned shut. Ain't it the truth?
That's brutal. That is a brutal. But she deserved it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's horrible.
So now Eddie gets back to the camp and he finds all the boys are chopped up, which, very disturbing because they're like 8 years old.
I forgot that they were the ones in the sand, so I was like, wow, they just killed these like 8-year-old kids for no reason.
And this is a
That's
really
cool.
good reveal, I think, because they're really subtle with how they do it in the sense you see all these sleeping bags and you see the hair of the boys sticking out from the sleeping bags, but they're just hacked up and bloodied. And his response, he really sells it. He pukes.
Yeah.
Like he throws up, which if I found 4 boys chopped up, hacked up with an axe in sleeping bags, I too would likely vomit all over the place. Yeah,
it's disgusting. And then you cut to Ricky walking after he goes to get some snacks from the rec hall and gets attacked by Mel. And Mel beats the shit out of him. Just beats the holy hell out of him. It's just pounding and then he's like, oh, what did I just do? I gotta get away. He's talking to himself. That's what he's saying. It's like, oh, I gotta get away. Oh, I gotta get away. And he gets up and he runs and he stops. Iconically, just like Friday the 13th, he stops in front of the archery range or the archery target, and you see all you see is the end of someone holding the arrow, getting ready to put it into the bow. Very cool shot. And Mel looks and he's like, "Oh, it's you! It can't be you!" Very cool death. You see the arrow. There's no cutaway. You see the arrow go into his neck. It goes through his neck. I mean, one take, it's not cut together. It's like, whoop.
I don't know if an arrow would actually
I don't
go through that specific
I don't know. It looks
spot,
cool, though.
but it is a cool
it's
shot
really
to look
cool.
at.
And he's dead. Thank God.
Yeah. Honestly, he is, to me, had it coming the most. What an awful man.
And then the cop with the fake mustache shows up because the police were called because of the Eddie found the boys. Okay, now they're just finding bodies left and right.
Yes.
So this cop with the fake mustache that literally looks like 2 pieces of felt glued onto his lip. He finds Meg's body. He comes out and he's like, I'm sorry. No, with that fake mustache, the last thing they should have did was a close up on his face. But they do.
Never should they have done that. I don't know what they were thinking.
And it's so blatantly fake, and he's just like, oh, he has this flabbergasted look on his eyes are all wide, and they're like, oh, it's Meg.
that horrible bitch is
there's
dead.
also that random girl Marie, Marie the random counselor finds her first and gives us a performance of like, I've lost everything in seeing this, and then he's like, my mustache.
They get some good performances from these goddamn extras. I mean, come on.
They do.
I actually think I've heard people say the acting in this film is terrible. I actually think the performances in this film are very. I don't want to say good. I want to say they're very naturalistic. They're very realistic.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think. Yeah.
For the time and genre, I find the performances
I do too.
pretty,
I think
pretty
the
good.
performances
I agree.
are pretty good across the board. I think for like as young of a cast that you're dealing with, they're really good. It's very natural. I buy a lot of the chemistry between the characters. I don't know. I don't think the acting in this film's bad at all. I mean,
Agreed.
there's far worse. I mean,
far worse. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, and I think, again, this is another example of how the ages of the actors come into play. I think because they cast younger actors, they just naturally feel a lot of these sequences with the youths feel very authentic because of their humor and the way they talk to each other. It just lends itself.
I also feel like any acting job that's slightly over the top or anything fits because of the type of world we're in, especially after seeing how it finishes. You kind of kind of lends itself to have that, and the only characters that do that make sense in doing that.
well, we are getting there. We are almost to these. We're almost to the end, guys. So Paul meets Angela at the waterfront. She tells him they're going to go swimming and tells him to get naked. Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna
She's like, I'm
skin
ready.
his dick.
Then the cop finds Meg, and then Susie and Ronnie start walking. They're looking for Angela, and they hear singing, like faint singing. And you basically they follow the singing to the waterfront, and there's Angela sitting on the beach naked, and Paul looks like he's laying in her lap, and she's petting his head, and she's singing to him, and you're like, oh, look at, they made up, and she finally fucked him. How sweet. And then you get the flashback with Aunt Martha.
Yeah.
And the flashback basically reveals that Angela is really Peter.
Angela died.
Angela was the one that got killed at the beginning, and this is Peter the boy. However, Aunt Martha does not want another boy because that wouldn't do. Oh no, not at all. That would not do at all. She's always wanted a little girl. So she makes Peter Angela.
How sick.
How sick. It's disgusting.
What
That's
a
what I'm
sick
saying.
rationale.
That's what I'm saying.
It is
the
insane.
Aunt Martha is the real villain of this film because none of this would have happened if it wasn't. Anyways, because we're getting there, because then we're going to unload on this ending. Okay, so flashback ends. Angela suddenly stands up. Paul's severed head falls on the ground. He's dead. She cut his head off. And she has a dick. And she's growling, holding a bloody knife. And that's the end. It's a freeze frame, and you get the whole, oh my God, she's a boy from Ronnie. And the film ends with a freeze frame on her gnarly ass face as you find out that Angela is really a boy. One of the most shocking endings in horror movie history. If you don't know this film and you're watching it for the first time, I guarantee you're going to be shocked. Iconic. I mean, come on.
Absolutely.
I mean, who could have ever predicted?
Right. And the execution of the way they did it, they had I think an adult film actor. They had an actor with a mask and the effects in this movie, beginning to end, blow my mind. And this mask is one of the most well-handled effects because as Angela's revealed and turns to reveal her genitals, and you get a full frontal, it's horrifying. It is a horrifying shot, and basically all of this quiet character you've had so subdued the whole movie just unleashes
the growl,
all of her inner turmoil, and it's mind-blowing.
And for 83, quite shocking.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's Sleepaway Camp. We're done, folks. Yeah. Good night. No, I'm just kidding. We got it. We got to talk about the ending. Being gay, queer individuals.
Yeah. It's our duty.
I've listened to a couple podcasts on this film, and I've actually come across several articles and some Facebook posts. And there seems to be a belief or an opinion. And opinions are great. Everyone is entitled to opinion. That this film is transphobic and problematic. It comes along the same lines now as films like Psycho, Just to Kill, where if you have a killer that is trans or perceived as trans, because let's face it, Angela is not trans. Okay, Angela.
No, Angela didn't feel she was in the wrong
If
body.
Angela was, if Aunt Martha never would have made Angela a girl, would Peter have grown up to be trans? Probably
Right.
not. Okay, so I don't get the whole transphobic thing with this film. My take on it is actually the film is very positive towards trans because, and I interrupt me if you disagree at any time, because like I said, there are several gay podcasters who have done this film and have called it blatantly transphobic, where I'm listening to the podcast like cussing under my breath. So I'm glad I get to say my piece. Angela is the most sympathetic character
By
in the
far,
film.
yeah.
Okay,
Yes, she's who you root for.
none of these characters are likable. Okay, they're all horrible.
I like Susie.
I like Susie. Susie's good. Ronnie's good. But the most of the characters in this film are extremely unlikable. The deaths, and I hate to say this because nobody deserves to die, but we're talking about a slasher flick. We're slasher film fans, right? The characters in this film that die deserve to die based on the slasher convention.
Well, yeah, they've all done something.
They are horrible. They
bad.
And they die because of their actions towards this mentally disturbed person.
Yeah.
And Angela is not mentally disturbed because she's a trans person. Not at all. And these characters, like I said, they deserve their fates based on how they treat the character. I mean, think about films like Friday the 13th. Those characters did not deserve death like these characters do. There's a very specific reason why these characters die. I don't think when you say the word transphobic, it inherently means like the film is like a fear of trans. It's trying to project a fear of trans people. I don't see that.
Yeah, you would think it's painting somebody who's trans in a bad light, but I don't see it.
No, I'm not trans. Okay, I'm a gay cis male. I don't know. I'm sure there are trans people out here that may find the film problematic, and I respect your opinion 100%. I don't agree. I do not think this film is transphobic. I feel like the character of Angela is the character that the audience relates to the most. They're certainly not scared of her. The ending, I can see why some people might have a problem with it because it's used, I think, as shock value. But when it's compared to how the story is structured, it makes sense. Like the ending, it wasn't like, I don't think the filmmaker just decided, oh, God, guys, guess what? If we made this killer and gave it a dick at the end, that's going to shock audiences. From the very opening scene, it's very apparent where this film is going.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a plot device for shock value. The film is structured very well. There's a lot of indication about what's going to happen. And as we've discussed, Angela herself, Peter, does not feel like a girl, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think honestly, it almost is the opposite of that, because in this world they've created an eccentric storytelling where it's just further proof that if you don't allow somebody to be themselves, there are detrimental consequences to their mental health and the world.
And
around them.
I don't think Angela, and I go back to this, Angela's not killing people because she's trans.
No, she's killing people because they're mistreating her, and she's mentally unstable.
She's killing people because they're
Right.
treating her like shit.
Right.
And
I
she's
think
not
I
a
think the
mentally
big thing that
stable
comes
person.
up here is the whole thing with trans journey is the idea of claiming your identity and how you identify and how you see yourself. And the issue here is,
That was stolen from Angela.
Angela's character was too young to probably even know and understand. And so at first, I'm sure it was one of those things that just was confusing, but they went along with it because they were a child. But now, as we see, this movie is being so overtly sexually portraying men and throughout this film and everything, and the things that Angela as a girl should be responding to is not responding to. She's still operating like a boy. She just doesn't understand it. Obviously she's quiet, obviously she's closed off, but as far as she knows, she's a girl. She doesn't know any better, because obviously this eccentric aunt has raised her a certain way, thinking a certain thing.
But I don't understand the mentality by some people that you cannot now have a movie with a gay killer or a trans killer. because that makes it automatically transphobic or homophobic.
I would prefer movies have that kind of thing because it makes everyone equal.
But there does seem to be a sector of people that think that if a movie has a trans character that's a killer, oh my God, it's transphobic.
I go ahead.
And I'm sorry, there's assholes in every walk of life and every, not all trans people are great people. Let's be honest. And if anybody that's a true crime addict like I am knows that trans people, gay people, everyone's capable of murder.
I could kill somebody.
Beyond the quality of the person. I mean, beyond if they're a good person or a bad person, one thing I think that unites a lot of slashers and a lot of horror movies is the idea that killers often become this because of their journey. And to say, I mean, if you're going to argue this, that, a transgender person, it's wrong to portray them as a villain or in a bad light, or as that though they can't go through this experience, then I'm sorry, you can't use the excuses of mental illness in general. I mean, like, if you're going to say that about trans people, then and honestly, any slasher is problematic. Any slasher that shows a killer who is snapped or has an alternate personality, or has bipolar disorder. All of these things have been used to explain the rationale behind a killer and why they do what they do and who they are and how they operate. This is just an example of somebody being put through an experience that altered how they evolved, how they operated, and now their brain is responding poorly to it. This person is not trans. Angela is not trans. She was forced to live that life.
If you're looking at a 1983 low budget slasher flick to make a statement about the trans community that you think is, ideal, or then you're looking at the wrong place. I'm sorry, that wasn't this film's job. Okay, this film did its job extremely well, and the film's job was to give us a highly entertaining slasher flick. But like I said, it just seems recently, there are all these films that where there's a trans or a perceived trans killer are all of a sudden problematic. Like I said, read Shudder's description of this film. They blatantly say the ending is problematic. I read that and I'm like, what? I mean,
I feel like when that ending hits, it really begs to be watched again, so that you can see all the subtleties of what could this character be thinking. Because if you think about what Peter went through, he lost his father and sister. He has seen a gay relationship in the background of his life. He is then brought to live with Aunt Martha, who's clearly eccentric and lost, who then forces him to act as a female for the rest of his life and hide that from literally even Ricky, who is like, I guess technically kind of almost like a stepbrother-ish cousin at this point. And then you hit puberty around all these other teens. The mentality of that is the breaking point. It has nothing to do with
I think that is the story of this film. I don't think the film is a trans story. So it can't be, it's not transphobic because it's inherently not about that. It's about somebody that has been forced to become an identity that they didn't choose or didn't want to be. That's the film. That's what the film is about. And to think about it from a perspective that this was 40 years ago, I mean, hell, you should be happy that a film is even tackling that subject 40 years ago and did it. I'm going to say this tastefully, and I don't want to, I'm using that word about Sleepaway Camp. I realize that, folks, but I'm saying that subject matter of the film was handled pretty well. I don't think it was, I never got the sense that it was portraying homosexual relationships, trans, in a negative light at all. And I guess you just got to get over the fact that making a character a villain is automatically somehow painting that entire community or sector in a negative light. How many films have we seen where there's a straight killer or it doesn't, we don't automatically say, well, it's,
And if you boil it down to the bare bones, the message of this movie is if you don't allow somebody to naturally live and evolve as they are, as who they are, you are going to mentally disrupt them. You're going to cause them issues. They are who if you fight against who they naturally are meant to become, and that can go both ways. You know, who's to say that this wouldn't have applied to a character who was trans, who was forced to live in a life, be identifying as a gender that they don't see themselves, that they don't identify as, and you could turn it around and provide a very good argument for why trans individuals should be allowed to live as they are, because you cause mental hardship on them every day when they're not allowed to be the people they're meant to be. So yes, maybe this is a little shock exploitation, but the best horror movies are, and that covers all bases: gay, queer, trans, otherwise.
Like I said, it's an 80s slasher flick, for crying out loud. We're not, I mean, and I know now I know that people are talking about Silence of the Lambs as being transphobic because the character of Buffalo Bill. I mean, it's just getting to the point where, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, but the thing is, even stuff like that's based off of Ed Gein. That's a real thing.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. Yes, Ed Gein. I mean, Psycho is based off Ed Gein, and even Norman Bates wasn't trans. I mean, Norman Bates was not trans. He dressed as his mother because he had
a psychotic break.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all these films that are supposedly transphobic don't even have trans characters in them.
It's just
ironically, from my point of view, and I'm an idiot, so like this might not be the appropriate point of it. It almost is metaphorical for the actual opposite. It preaches acceptance. It preaches let people live as who they are, and things will go accordingly. Don't mistreat people, and you won't have bad karma and get stabbed in the shower after you try to sleep with the director.
Get your coochie burned.
Right. Regardless
Exactly.
of how they identify.
But because, like I said, I just want to go back to Angela is the most relatable character in the film. She's the most sympathetic. We're supposed to care about her. And then, I get it. I get why people say it is. I mean, it's like the shock value, or the people that'll sit there and say, well, people that don't know any better, that don't have experiences with trans people are going to see it.
That I can get. If people are like, if the average audience sees it and they think like,
but
well,
you know what
that's
I mean?
what
Like,
it is.
I don't.
But to me, it's
I'm
the
sure there are
opposite.
some people that do that, but there are also some people that watch Scream and think, oh, cool, the two white guys are, killing people. Maybe I should. I mean,
I do.
It's the same thing. It's a slasher. It's a slasher film. You got to go with it, and I think it's a pretty progressive slasher film.
And to me, with what Angela has gone through mentally, it's not like, it's like in other horror movies, somebody's like killing a bunch of people for some sort of reason that they're either avenging something or they're feeling a certain way. In Angela's case, the mentality of where they must be is, you can't necessarily blame this person. You blame the
You blame
circumstance.
Aunt Martha. That's Aunt Martha is the real villain in this film, folks. Let's remember that. But that's Sleepaway Camp. I wanted to, like I said, I respect everyone's opinion. I'm giving my opinion. That doesn't mean I feel like anybody that thinks that this film is problematic is wrong. I'm saying I think they're wrong, but doesn't mean they are wrong. We all have opinions. I respect opinions. Trust me, I've listened to podcasts. I've read episodes. I respect the opinions. I'm just coming from a different perspective where I feel like the film is actually, like we've discussed, the opposite. So I'm kind of glad you guys agree to a certain extent.
I only agreed because I'm a guest. I'm just kidding.
I mean, maybe it'd be interesting to revisit the film at some point with someone who actually does think it's problematic.
I would love to actually discuss with somebody why they feel that way.
I would be way open to it. And I was watching it this time with that in mind. Like, okay, I'm watching this film purposely I want to see the problematic aspects of the film outside of the ending. And I still didn't feel it. I mean, I can't help that. Like I said, if there's somebody that actually does feel that way, especially a trans person, I totally respect that. Totally. Because like I said, I'm not trans. I don't know how this would affect me if I was. I would like to think I'd still feel the same way. Hey, there was a movie that was dealing with these issues made 40 years ago. And I still think that this film, for the most part, holds up really well and has a pretty positive following. So that's good.
I agree. And I think that, every killer needs to have a motive. And some motives are going to offend some people, and some motives are going to offend other people. And some people are offended by slashers in general, lest we forget. Some people are offended by death. Some people are offended by gore. So it's one of those things that it's about how do you interpret it,
And yeah, I wish Angela had done something aside from killing everybody who was mean to her.
Yeah.
But...
And I was just gonna say, let's keep in mind every slasher film should be offensive. I mean, you're watching people getting murdered. That's what always
If
gets
you're
me.
not
is people
offended
don't have
by
a
somebody getting stung to death taking a shit, what are you offended by?
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like people aren't offended by actually watching people get brutally butchered, but they're offended by the end of a movie that reveals the character was a boy that was living, that was forced to live as a girl. That's offensive. All these people that got pots of boiling water poured on them.
They had
whatever,
it
who cares
coming.
about that. It's interesting.
I mean, he already had it coming.
He was a mess. Good old Artie. But we are at 2 hours. Wow. I think we covered all the bases. Is there anything else anybody wants to say? And like I said, guys, just because we are saying what we believe doesn't mean we think anybody else's opinion is wrong.
No, I think other things aside from, I think people look at right away go to the taboo elements of this movie and don't also acknowledge the fact that at the end of the day it's pretty well shot, very beautifully scored, and pretty well acted slasher with some amazing kills. And taboo elements aside, I mean, to say it's not an influential and I'd say superior slasher compared to, I'd say, most within the genre, to be honest. I prefer this over Friday the 13th. I prefer this over a lot of them.
I do too, actually. Yeah.
It is perhaps one of the best camp slasher films. I would say it's definitely better than The Burning. I know a lot of people love The Burning. I find that The Burning to be paced incredibly slow. I like it better than the first Friday the 13th. Blasphemy, I know. I would say I like Friday the 13th Part 2 better than this film, but it is one of the best camp slasher films out there. Madman, Madman, we'll cover that at some point because that's a really cool film. It's very atmospheric. But I agree. I think this is I think it holds up really well. It's shot very well. It looks great. I mean,
it does. It's a beautiful film.
The Blu-ray
it's a beautiful film.
Cut of this film looks really great, and the effects still hold up even in 4K Blu-ray. It's really impressive. And maybe we'll talk about the sequels at some point.
I've never seen any of the sequels.
Oh my God. Okay. So have you, Roger?
I started watching the second one, but I'll say this is a movie where I was immediately turned off by the fact that, and not being like a Felissa Rose, like, I love her. It just, I think the first performance is so strong, and it's very obviously not her in the second and third movie. So I kind of just, like, didn't care as much. I get sometimes affected by recastings. That's just me. I'd be happy to revisit it.
I almost think that sequel thing might be more problematic, actually, because I do know in the sequel she's had reassignment surgery.
She has, yes.
And that, I think, lends itself to a very new field of question.
Like she's manipulating that identity now.
Yeah. She actually has had she had the reassignment surgery while she was in prison.
Which then, if that's the case, it does open up a problematic floor for, like, then she is trans because she's identifying female.
Yeah, maybe we'll cover 2 and 3. We will never cover 4. 4 is the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen in my entire life, which is sad because Felissa Rose returns for it, and it's god awful. 2 and 3 just take a different tone. It's a different director. It's much more comedic. It's very self-aware. Angela becomes like Freddy, where she's cracking jokes before she kills people. It's not the same as the first one. The first one, dark tone. The 2 and 3 are very comedic, lighter tones. So once you get past that jarring element, they're entertaining. I just wish they weren't part of the Sleepaway Camp franchise. But we'll talk about those later. But yeah, that was Sleepaway Camp, folks. Hopefully our conversation humored you, enlightened you, and we did it. And we got to say huge thank you to our first
and your last,
our guest host, Chris. No, not our last. We are actually going to have you on again, and we are going to talk about Sorority Row.
I fucking love it.
Oh my
God.
God.
Love it.
Specifically the remake, I'd prefer.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's
the remake
iconic
for sure.
in its own right.
It's one of my favorite horror films.
Okay, so we will plan that sometime in the near future to have Chris
my God,
back.
I'm thinking all this stuff to talk about.
To talk Sorority Row, because I do love that film too. It's
Speaking
so
of co-hosts, we actually are going to have our second official co-host ever next week. We're trying some new things. We're trying some fun new things. So we're gonna have a fellow podcaster on the show next week to review a very different title. Though empowering in its own right. Next week, we are going to have the Pop Culture Persephone, pop culture podcast personality and a good friend of mine. She has a really great podcast channel that I encourage all of you to tune into because she's hilarious. She's an honorary gay man in a woman's body. And next week, we are going to be reviewing the 2005 direct-to-DVD classic Tamara, starring
I love Tamara.
Starring Jenna Dewan, formerly Dewan Tatum, and Matthew
Tatum. She was
I
married
know,
to
Matthew
Channing
Marsden,
Tatum.
and I fucking love this movie. Underrated. It's like a sexy Carrie meets a whole bunch of other movies from the late 90s, early 2000s. I can't get enough of it. And so we're bringing in a woman's voice and a woman's personality to help us really decipher the true meaning behind Tamara and whether or not everything that Tamara does throughout the course of this film is deserved or if she's taken shit a little too far. We'll figure it out when we discuss it with the podcast Persephone next week. But until then, Chris, thank you so much for being our first honorary guest host.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my God, helping break it in. Popping the cherry, if you will. We like it a lot.
We like that. But we will, yeah. So expect to have Chris back at some point in the future to talk about Sorority Row. We'll keep you posted. But yeah, this was a great episode. I'm glad we got to talk about Sleepaway Camp. I feel like it was a great conversation. So we bid you adieu, folks, until next week where we talk about Tamara and Channing Tatum. I mean, Jenna
Dewan Tatum. And until then, guys, keep in mind, give us some likes, give us some love, give us some shares, give us some comments, and please go listen to Chris's debut single, Welcome to the Hollow. Watch the music video, like it on YouTube, and check out his work. For the love of ham, he's busting out everywhere. He's got movies, he's got shows, he's got songs, he's got a touring band. What more can you do, Chris?
Gymnastics.
He does gymnastics, my God. And he can bake an amazing souffle.
I'm a
this
good
and
cook.
more. I believe it.
We do
I've
believe
seen
you.
it.
I remember when you were filming Teacher Shortage, you were like had a notebook
Can
full
I
of
have
recipes
it?
or something.
I was making smoothies for everyone
Yeah,
too.
right. You were making all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
We're going to have you on for an
Okay.
episode just to talk teacher shortage, too. It's coming.
Oh, yeah, we could do
Oh
that.
yes, we need to do that.
It's
I've
due
never
time.
seen it, but we could do it. I'm just kidding.
we could get a few of the cast.
I'm working with
Absolutely.
Kaylee this weekend.
Talk about.
Wonderful.
Oh wow. Okay.
Give her our
Yay.
love. Give her some
I'll
kisses.
give her some
from
kisses.
us.
We're actually, we have a sex scene together.
Oh, okay. Are you rooming together again?
I don't think so. I think we all have our,
Because you guys,
we have our own
just
bed.
slept.
She's the best roommate I've ever had. We literally slept all day and didn't do anything.
That's how it should be. How it should be. On that note, I'm gonna go sleep all fucking day because it's 10:30 p.m. This has been the longest podcast we've ever done.
Woo!
Chris, you deserved every minute.
Thank you.
Yes, but thank you for hanging with us for 2 hours and plus now. So good night. Join us next week for Tamara.
Tamara with the podcast Persephone.
Good night.
Right.